Am I the asshole for walking out an interview when they would not disclose the salary to me? Honestly, not. If you have to fight to get the salary, you better walk off this place. You just show them that, like, if they don't want to care about you enough to show you exactly what you're worth, according to them, you don't want to deal with them. I'm getting mixed message about this and in a variety of opinion. Last year, I graduated my degree in computer science. Since then, I worked on contract for a company that has been fairly okay, but not one I plan to try and start a career with. I'm just going to lower the volume of the music so that we can hear us better. But since my contract ends in a month, I've been looking for a full-time work. The hardest part about this, though, is fitting all the interviews in. Basically, every application I send in gets responded to, along with a handful of recruiters spamming my LinkedIn. Yeah, they do that. So I've decided that if they do not tell me in the first 15 minutes of the interview what they are actually paying, I will ask. If they don't tell me in plain term, an actual range or a number, I will thank them for their time and leave. Okay. Like, they still give them 15 minutes to go straight to the point. It's just that sometimes an interview can last more than 15 minutes. And it's usually the point that we take care of at the end of the interview. Most of the people I've talked to will just answer the question, but I've noticed a few try to dance around it. I reply with, money isn't the most important part of a job. Or somewhere family and salary isn't important. No, like, money is an important part of a job. You're giving your time and you're giving your own body for something. So that is not okay. And where a family and salary isn't important is bullshit. Because the day you will not be doing enough work according to them, they will just kick you out. They will just replace you. They won't care about you. If you die tomorrow, they will not be at your funeral. They will just keep on going. So you're not family. You are not family. You are expendable. I'm really sorry. Even I in my job, even if there is like a not enough workers for the job that is to do, I am expendable. I have a baccalaureate that makes me do my job, and there is behind me a lot of people that are still willing to do my job. If I leave tomorrow, they find a substitute teacher and I'm not in the picture anymore. Because of this, out of about a dozen interviews, I've walked away from 4. To at least justify this, I'm already in talk with a company and basically waiting to hear their offer. So I feel like if they are not going to give me a guess of what I could expect at this point, there's not reason for me to deal with them. Honestly, at this point, they know what are your qualifications, they know your experience, they know where you like, they know a lot about you already. Already went through your social media to have an idea of you, who you are. They know how much they are willing to spend on you. So being very direct about that will just let you like start to put in the right information so that you can know how much you can get. Well, yesterday evening, I went to meet up with a local startup. A recruiter reached out to me and I fit every checkbox they needed, and I'd actually built a compiler for the language they were primarily using, which is Python. So I was their number one candidate. 15 minutes in, they had not talked at all about compensation, so I asked. The interviewer told me it's bad-mannered to ask for a salary this early in the process. I just smiled and said that I disagree, and I was not going to waste my time entertaining an offer if they could not compete. I tried to argue back they were a startup. They tried to argue back they were a startup and yada yada. So I just did what I did before, stood up, thanked him for his time, and left. Honestly, that's perfect, because like being a startup does not mean that you can have like good worker for free. Lou would read that and freak his head out. Okay, he would just explode. Well, the recruiter blew up my phone asking what the fudge I did and who I thought I was. Honestly, if you're not willing to pay her for what she's deserving, she said it? No, okay. They never clarified if it's a him or her. So if they're not willing to pay him for or hit for the worth, I will tell you a story after that, Fafnir, and you're gonna be disgusted. Okay. You're going to be disgusted on how like startup are dealing with that. Well, the recruiter blew up my phone asking, apparently the owner of the company was my interviewer. I had no clue. First time I talked to the guy and he never even mentioned he was the owner. Honestly, if you're the owner over all of that, like, you know exactly how much you're ready to pay. So screw this. And he blew up at the recruiter for my behavior. The recruiter made a vague post on LinkedIn that it was an attack. That was an attack against me, but didn't name me. The comments swing from I'm in the right to a total. Yeah, I told my significant other, and they said that I was an asshole. No, you're not an asshole. You are everything but an asshole. Waiting for 15 minutes. They know enough about you to have an opinion about what you're worth, okay? And they also know already what is the range they are willing to pay for someone with your skill set and your competency. So here's the thing. I'm gonna give a little commentary to go with the I had two friends that lived in my house, okay? I have two rooms, and I had two roommates before I had my baby, and those roomies both worked for the same startup. This is where they met. The startup was basically paying them the minimum wage. They were both coders. They were both programmers. One was more on the artist side. She was making the asset that the other was rigging and programming. So both of them were working as coder. And they were paid minimum wage to do that, and they were paid 32 hours a week, even though they would put like 50, 60, 70 hours a week. And the deal was that they had, according to how much time they spent working on the company, a percentage of the profit that would come back to them. But it was never disclosed exactly how much percentage they would have, like what would be their ownership of the thing in the end. They were programming a game. So what they were said was basically, if we succeed, you might get a ton, but for now you get nothing. And I honestly totally despise that. Honestly, for them, it was a first job. They tried to get something in that market. And for those who worked in the gaming industry, you will understand that like there's 3 person willing to do the job in any job that is gonna open. So like the owners are lowballing everything. Unless you have a name for yourself, unless you're the best of the best, you're gonna get lowballed, you're gonna get crunch, you're gonna get exactly like programming. So they are gonna try to milk you up, and once you're burned, ciao dude, next. They don't care. They will tell you stupid things like, yeah, but we're like a small family here. We're making stuff to succeed together. No, fudge you. Like, if you don't tell me exactly how much percentage the extra hour I'm putting in are going to be worth on the company, and I don't have any control on how that's BS. So that approach, even for a programmer, like that approach saying, I know you know how much you're willing to pay for someone that have my skill set. How much do you plan on paying for this job? And if the person is not able to give you a decent answer, that basically means that they are not willing to pay you a fair price, and they know it, so they hope that you really love what they're doing to the point that you're like, I agree at being paid a stupid low salary, at being lowballed for way less than what I'm worth. So that approach, even though people will call you an asshole, is just a way to say to the people, I respect myself. This guy blowed at you because you were not playing his game. You were not playing ball with him. But you don't have to. You're not his employee yet. Even if you were, like, you can still deal for a better salary. So you're not his employee yet. You owe him absolutely nothing. You already moved your ass to see what he's like offering you, and he's not able to tell you what he's going to offer. You know there's eel under rock when this is this an expression in English? Like there's a snake under the, I think there's a snake under the rock in English. So you know there's a snake under the rock in that kind of situation because the person knows she's going to lowball you hard. You don't have to waste another 15 minutes of your time to reach a point where the other person is willing to talk about salary or compensation. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Up to my own taste, that's a bit rude. That's totally a bit rude. That does not make you an asshole to be rude. I'm pretty sure we're going down, and a lot of people will be saying not the asshole. Like, they will say that it's rude. Probably. Oh, wow. NTA. And blowing up your phone is insane. Honestly, someone comes to me back when I do that, and I know what I'm worth, and they are, like, lowballing me or not balling me at all. Like, who do I think I am? Honestly, someone that is worth more than you're willing to pay. Have a good day, sir. It's as simple as that. I'm getting called, like, this is a thing. In real life, I have some people that are calling me arrogant, and that's a flaw that I totally recognize. Like, it's if you know what you're worth and someone's lowballing you, watch you. Like, I know my time is worth that. I could be selling my time to someone else. Are you willing to pay me what I'm asking for or not? Luckily, I don't have to fight for this kind of thing anymore. I'm a teacher now, but like, when I was working in security, when I was working on in a shop, when if you think you can get my time at less than what the other one is offering and hope to keep me, what? Like, but I keep on working for you. I'm a good employee. I know what I'm worth. Ciao. So yeah, I totally agree with what they're doing here. And as long as they don't have big responsibility that will force them to sell their time to someone, your time is yours. If you feel like it's a disrespect of it, after 15 minutes to have someone tell you that they do not really want to tell you how much you're worth, rise up and leave. And I'm pretty sure, I'd be surprised someone like, the recruiter is hoping for OP to fall for a sunk cost fallacy. If OP goes through all the interview steps, they will have to take the job despite the low salary because of all the work. Yeah, there's that. There's clearly that. Like, if like I spend 4 weeks trying to go like through 3 interview in a row, I might fall for, someone might fall for that, and you don't want that. Like, yeah, OP, if you have your pick of offers of or interview, do not work for a startup. Honestly, no. Like, it always depends. But like, if the startup tells you, I'm willing to pay a little less than what I can pay, but you're gonna get like, I can tell you're gonna get 8% of the worth of the company, no matter how it goes, and you believe in what this 8% might be worth, you can be like, okay, I'm going into it because I'm going to be a partial owner of the thing. But if you go for that, once again, try to make sure that the owner does not hold on to more than 49% of the company, so that if it's the worst employer, the most like lackluster marketer of the world, you can just say, I bail out, and group with the 51% other and say, you're going out, we're buying back your part. Like, you cannot go and leave all the power in the end of someone else. That money that they pay you is for your time. That's a very good thing, to just like respecting your own worth. You sound like you want to start your career on a self-respecting foot. Not only are you dramatically more likely to be asked to do 4 or 5 jobs for half the pay of one at a real company, and have to deal with megalomaniac cokehead. What? That exploded quickly. We don't know how to manage people, but when the recession fully hits, that job will evaporate when the VC does. What the VC? What the VC? Worked for a startup for a year, can confirm. Yeah. I totally agree with what the Hopi does. Not the asshole at all. Let's catch up, because I've seen a little bit of Faris earlier. To be honest, it is weird because she has a complex of What are you? We're talking about your friend, right, Faris? Yep. Free. Okay. That reminds you of the Amazon thing about the guy that made a mistake and was seen through camera and reprimanded for 5 minutes later, but died of a heart attack and wasn't found until a few hours later. People are disposable for big company. Absolutely. This guy, that's gonna sound stupid, but like, this guy dead cost less to them probably than just like trying to fix him for a few months. So they will turn a blind eye when it's fine for them.